think I want to get a shotgun mic for the phone at some point because a cheap one. Keep in mind, I wouldn't use it very often. And there goes the air. Thankfully, I'm not downstairs right now. But anyway, as you might be able to tell behind me, I've been packing. The last few weeks, on the weekends, it has been the time that I would spend, 6, 8 hours a day at the very minimum, sometimes more. Sometimes work for a couple hours, take a break, come back, work more. Packing, getting everything, moving it from upstairs and downstairs all to one central location. And clearly I have a lot more to do since I've got stuff stacked up on top that I need to, like this was a wireless keyboard that I had sitting by my TV and Xbox so that I could plug in and talk in game chat. There are some MMOs like the one I play that has game chat even though it's on the Xbox, and I'm not about to try typing a message on the Xbox controller. So anyway, I had a wireless keyboard. Point is, I've got some open boxes on top that I still need to finish filling up with things, but for the most part, I have a lot of stuff already packed up. It's Monday, won't let me swipe down, come on, 27th of June, and moving in the middle of July, so 2 weeks and change away. Since I still work basically all the way right up until then, the only time I'm taking off is after the move date, basically. So, like, I have to get everything done on the weekends and get everything ready to go, because during the week I'm working and I got all that. There's not a lot of time to get stuff done, and then on the weekends is when I can start working on this stuff. But if I get all that stuff done, the time that I'm going to take off, I'm going to take a week off of work to actually move, because it's a 5-ish hour drive to get there and unload, and then we have to come back to get the other car, because there's only 2 of us, and with a truck that's 3 vehicles, so coming back to get the car, and then cleaning and getting everything done here and donating all the furniture. I've already been taking car trips here on the weekends to the thrift stores of things where it's just like, do I need this? No. Does it still have some use? Yes. Is it something that I'm going to need in the next year, or could I just replace it? Trying to do, stuff like that, and just paring down things that I went, oh, I never needed this. I don't need this, and donate it. Let somebody else get some use out of it. I still have a lot of cleaning to do. I'm mostly packed up now at this point. The basement, which you might see in a different video. I have an idea for what I want to do. I still have yet to record a video about, if I just stand right next to the light, I have yet to record a video about the actual server that I built, since the videos for that kind of failed. I know that this is a thing, and I keep doing this, where I'll switch hands and my audio suddenly changes because I'm no longer cupped around where the microphone is. Hence why I'd like to get a shotgun mic or something. I've yet to find a good solution for wireless, and I almost never have my phone just randomly hooked up to a camera mount, because I use it as a phone. I use it for everything. So we'll see. I have a few ideas about what I could do for that. But anyway, point is, I have some cleaning to do. That's what I'm waiting for right now. It's still a bit early for me to break out large cleaning equipment, loud cleaning equipment, which is a drill with brush attachments, so I can clean easier and get things cleaner than I could by elbow grease. And I also have a ton of milk crates that I acquired over the years through definitely legal means, because they print very much on there how you're not supposed to just take them. I technically don't think I took any of them, but they were given to me. Anyway, I had 15 of them, and I'm down to only 3 because I realized I'm not using. They were basically bookcases. My bookcases had other things on them, and so I would just travel. I would take all my books and pack them into milk crates, and then take milk crates from move to move, and then just turn them on their side and go, and now it's a bookcase, and put them in a 9x9 pattern or something, a 3x3. Anyway, I donated almost all of them. The only ones I'm keeping are because I've got some heavier stuff that I need to put in there, but they're disgusting because they've been with me for, I took them when I moved out at 18, which was 13 years ago, now that I have turned 31. But they were in the house before that. They were given to us by our grandfather because they used them at a golf driving range to collect up all the golf balls. And then after a while, he just went, well, we don't need all these extra ones, and take them and give them to us for storage and stuff. They're useful. They're heavy-duty plastic crates. Um, but I'm down to only 3. I donated all the other ones because I don't need them and I don't want them to be. Books are not good to travel in that. They're just exposed to the elements and they shouldn't stay in there the whole time. So I packed books into boxes for long-term storage at this point until we can get to a place where we have more bookcases. But I have these 3 and they're gross, and they've just got years of dust caked onto them and things like that. So I want to clean them, and because there's so many tiny nooks and crannies, I sat down on the floor yesterday and was just sitting there with a Lysol wipe trying to get all the little tiny pieces, and I went, oh, this is annoying. I have a pressure washer. Not a great one, just kind of a portable one that I use to like clean up the back porch where all the birds poop, and clean off the car with the things like that. It's just a small one, but it's loud enough that I shouldn't be starting it at 7:30 in the morning. Technically, quiet hours for the apartment complex are 8 a.m. is when they start, so I'm waiting for that. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to pack up the outside stuff today as well. All the bird feeders that I have not put birdseed in because of the bird flu that has definitely, the last time I checked on it a few months ago, was that it was spotted in a few locations, and one of them was specifically here in Wyoming, where they were like, yeah, so don't put up your bird feeders right now. I don't know how long that lasts, if it's the entire season or if it's just a short amount of time. I haven't researched that specifically. I just saw the message that was like, hey, don't do that, and I went, cool, I won't do that. So I couldn't afford to get any bird seed anyway. I was putting priorities elsewhere, but I hope to get some bird feeders up at the new place because I do like seeing the birds, and it's a good way to see some new ones, things like that. But just kind of recording and talking through what's happening. That's instead of going out and seeing wildlife or anything else. I did make it out once and went and saw some nature stuff the other week, on a Monday when I had some time. But this week, Saturday and Sunday, were both spent fully packing, getting the basement almost totally done, and then the upstairs almost totally done. And here in the living room, I'm just surrounded by boxes because that's what it's going to be until the move. And there's not a lot of space in the new place, so it's going to be a lot of boxes all over the place, basically, but I have to find a way to make it work. But I got everything there, and I got all that stuff packed up. Like I said, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday I was going to just do some cleaning, because the more I can clean now, the less we have to come back and clean after coming back anyway and renting a pickup truck in order to go donate all the furniture that we can't take with us, all the couches and things, and bookcases, and a washer dryer, and the beds. Oh, I need to break down the beds today. The one that's on a frame with all that stuff, I need to break that down. I don't have to do it today. I could do it next weekend as well. I think so. It has to be done before Bonnie gets back. I don't remember when I don't remember what the date. Yeah, no, I should have time. It's not until next week. Yeah. No. I don't have a calendar in front of me, and I can't count the number of days. Anyway, this was just a behind the scenes. I don't know. I didn't document my move last time, like at all. Oh, excuse me. But I thought about it, and I tried to take pictures and video on the drive. So I was like, well, this is actually interesting to move across the country. This would be something that, I hope not to do all the time, so that would be interesting, and I could show it to my family members at the very least to be like, look at what it was like driving across the country, because who does that all that often? And here's what it would look like, and here are the sights that we saw and the fun things. So I wasn't really recording videos, and I wasn't doing any vlogging at that point at all, so I did not consider it. I was writing in a blog, and I think I wrote about not the actual trip. I don't remember exactly. It's been 2 years, almost exactly. We moved August 1st of 2020, and we'll be moving in the middle of July in 2022. So, almost 2 years here. Well, that's what I really want to do. Dang it. I don't really give myself time for that because it has to be on a weekend with the time. I could explain what I'm talking about. I've thought about driving around here in Wyoming the sites that I'd seen and the things that I specifically don't show, like around the city and kind of where I lived and the places that I go to and the names of them. I was going to try to do that, and I might be running out of time. I also really wanted to go to Yellowstone while I lived here because it's only 4 hours away and not, you know, 8, 9, 10 more at any other location. I doubt we'll be back in Wyoming anytime soon, but it's a good thing I didn't go to Yellowstone because they shut it down with all the flooding and a lot of bad stuff and people's houses. The only video clip I saw of a house getting just completely swept away, from what I understand, what I read, assuming that information is correct, that was a park ranger living, and they were already all evacuated because they're the ones who are on top of that stuff and like watch for the signs and things like that. So it sucks. They need a place to stay when they're working there, because I'm sure it gets super busy over the summer and they have to go, basically police the park and make sure everybody stays safe, and rescue efforts and things like that for those who aren't as smart about their stuff. But yeah, I have to build a new one of those. But anyway, yeah, Yellowstone's totally out of the question. I could have gone a little bit earlier when I thought about it in May, but hindsight 2020, it's okay. I'll make it back out there. I have plenty more life to live and to get out there at some point. It will be more of a trip, but that's okay. I think that'll be easier to plan instead of it being the like, all right, well, it's just going to be, a day trip. So it's going to be a 2-day trip so that it's not one day. So I have to book time for that. I never really managed to. But now if I'm like, it's going to be a big trip, I can actually plan for it and like take time off of work and not try to squeeze it in on a weekend. So then I actually have to set dates and look and see when it'll be. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I've been doing the last few weeks and what I will be doing the next few weeks. My hope is to get as much moved and packed and cleaned and get everything into the central location. And if I can and free it up, then my time on the weekend can be spent doing stuff like last looks around and, things like that. I'm still kind of hoping. I need to check and see how many weekends I actually have. I guess I only have 2. Oof. Well, this ate up 12 minutes according to the timer. Still have about 20 minutes before I can actually start busting out the drills and the pressure washer and things like that. So I'm just kind of looking around here and there, small things like the keyboard on top of the boxes here. I can take that downstairs and put it with my other computer stuff to get packed up. So that's what I'll need to do before the end. Right there, the weekend before the move, I need to break down all of my computer stuff, and that's why I was kind of thinking it might be better to wait for that server video, because then I could do it like, that could be the last thing before I pack it up, and that way I can do a bit talking and stuff like that, and I can have the computer plugged in and turned on and show what it, show it working. But then I also want to unplug it and like take the side panels off and, show you what's inside, and that'll be easier if I'm going to pack it up anyway. So maybe I will do that. If I do that next weekend, I can get that. I can record that video. If I don't do it today, I can record that next week. Show off the whole server, explain what, why, that stuff, and then break down the server computer, the editing computer, and the work computer. Get it down to just 2 monitors for the week, and on like a folding table. I can do that for just a week, and that way it's a lot easier on me to get packed up right before the move. I can get all that stuff done next weekend, because I think the weekend after we're moving, if I'm remembering correctly, I need to check the dates and see what's going on. Anyway, this is what I do usually when I'm not just sitting in the car and I actually am talking. It used to be talking on the phone. I don't really talk on the phone too much anymore, but I just pace back and forth and talk around, and it has been mistakenly confusion for like an anxious energy, but it's not. It's just a moving. I'm not anxious. I don't feel that way, and I do get anxious talking on the phone, but usually not to people that I already know. It's just strangers. But I've just realized that now that I'm walking back and forth, that I used to do that in every phone call, almost ever. So anyway, yep, that's what I gotta do. I gotta get finished, packed up, and then all of these things. Not gonna help if I talk when the phone's away. All of those things will get put into a moving truck and driven across state lines to be situated in Colorado. That was not nearly as dramatic of a lighting change as I was hoping for by opening the blind in front of the front door window. Okay.